Good morning, everyone. Reverend Denise here. And thank you all for joining me on this chilly Sunday morning, December 27th. And I hope whatever holidays that you're celebrating, that they are filled with a lot of love and joy and laughter. And for me, before I start my talk today, I like to start out in a celebration also by remembering those who have a birthday this month. So for our December babies, let's just shout out a happy birthday to Tibor Dudas, Darla Smith, Sunny Mendiola, Maya Sage, Jenny Roth, the very talented Lisa No, Lil Kuko, and Nancy Bomar. And if I've forgotten anyone on my birthday list, please know we celebrate you. So let's all shout out a happy birthday to all of our December babies. Happy birthday! Yay! I hope it's a wonderful one for all of you. This year is coming to a close, and I know for many of us, it can't come quick enough. It has been a difficult year. It's been filled with challenges and, sadly, some losses. And we've not been able to come together to do a proper goodbye for our loved ones. But I trust that it won't be much longer before we will be able to join together and celebrate the lives of those who have left us, our sweet, sweet members. Joe Milano, Jim Grady, and Ellsworth Hart. We love them dearly, and we miss them so much. Though I am certain that they are walking amongst us, helping us to get through this incredibly difficult and confusing time. And as comforting as that is, we still need our ritual of saying goodbye, because it's a part of our grieving process. It's a part of our healing process. By remembering their life and honoring the connection that we have with them, it strengthens our bond with them and the faith that we have that they are not really gone from us, simply out of our view. That's all. So by having these ceremonies, we're able to move forward, to lift out of the sadness, not to hurry up and get over it or to forget about it, quite the opposite. It helps us to remember the good, the love, and that we hold on to, that we never let go of. You see, ceremonies and rituals, they're rich in tradition and sacredness and emotional connections. These rituals they can be looked at as our language that we use to commune with the divine, to connect and feel the oneness of life, the sacred circle of life. And the ritual that we're going to have later today is our annual release and renew ceremony. And that's an important ritual. To release the old and make room for the new. Because we can't see our possibilities through our past. We have to turn around and let go of what was. So what can be has room within us to bloom. And I know this year has given us many situations and circumstances, attitudes, emotions, regrets. The list goes on of all that we need to let go of. We've seen what division looks like. We've felt what separation feels like. This imbalance, this disconnection to what is real. And we've forgotten what is most important. There's a little story I like to share with you. It's about a young boy. He's 8 or 9 years old, and he's standing in front of the window of a shoe store, and he's barefoot. And he's just standing there, peering into the window. And a woman notices him and comes alongside of him and asks him why he is earnestly staring into that window. And the little boy replied, "I was asking God to give me a pair of shoes." And with that, the lady just smiled and grabbed his little hand and walked him in the store and told the store clerk to get a half a dozen pair of socks for the little boy and a pair of shoes she had picked out and purchased. And she also wanted a basin of water and a towel. And one clerk went and quickly got that and returned it to her. So she put him in a chair and she knelt down, washed his little feet and dried them. And by that time, the other clerk came back with the 6 pairs of socks. And she took one of those pairs and put them on his little feet, along with the pair of shoes that she had bought him. And tapping him on the head, said, "Ah, you must be much more comfortable now, right?" And as she took the other pair of socks and tied them together, she placed them in his little hands and got up to leave. And as she turned to leave, the little boy grabbed her hand and said, "Thank you," and asked her, "Are you God's wife?" Well, we are all God's family. Each and every one of us. And I think all of us across this country, all of us across this world, we need to start taking care of one another and acting more like family. Because we are one human family. We are God's family. Now that would be a wonderful way to begin the new year, wouldn't it? That would be a good change for the new year. But change isn't always easy, and it may take a little time. Now, I know a lot of us are thinking about the changes within us that we'd like to make. We're trying to think about our New Year's resolutions, what it is we want to be open to, what it is we want to get rid of, let go of. And I came across a list of some ideas for New Year's resolutions. It was written by Michelle Guerrera, and I'd like to share some of them with you. Maybe it'll give you an idea. First one, make time for self-care. Carving out some of that solid me time. And then there's declutter your space. They say a tidy home is a happy home. This is a good one. Stop procrastinating. Mark Twain said, "Never put off tomorrow what you can do today." That's a tough one, though. Practice gratitude. Do you know if you practice gratitude, you end up feeling healthier, happier, and more at peace? Spread kindness. This also makes you healthier and calmer and happier, and it's really very contagious. All those random acts of kindness, they catch on. The next one is accept change. Sometimes change is hard to accept. But in life, change is one of the only constants. And it takes change to allow us to grow sometimes. Next one is treat yourself kindly. That's hard for a lot of people, I know. Because mistakes and bad days come. And if you are apt to browbeat rather than show yourself kindness, then I ask you to spend this next year working to reverse that negative habit, because it only breeds anxiety and depression. The following one is dream bigger. That's a good one. Create your next life phase by training yourself to think beyond what you imagine you can achieve. Stretch that horizon. Think bigger. Conquer a fear. That's a good one. Fear isn't something to hold on to. This year, resolve to face fear head on and release yourself from its choking grip. Let go of the fear. Be decisive. This year, stop overanalyzing everything. Instead, commit to end the habit of indecision and spend less time second-guessing yourself. Trust. Channel your inner child. It says that adults who play games better maintain their social well-being. You want to feel good? Play some games. Move your body. Keeping it moving doesn't mean you have to sweat through a high-intensity workout. Rather, it simply suggests one should be mobile, not sedentary. To get that blood flowing each and every day, just move a little. Next, we have care for something. Studies show taking care of pets decreases anxiety, promotes a sense of safety, and increased confidence. Certain houseplants do that too. It's been shown to improve well-being, raise productivity, and lower blood pressure. So go buy a plant. Stay present. Resolve to slow down this year. Practice mindfulness. And go easy on the multitasking. Or you could miss some amazing things happening right in front of you. We don't need to be so busy. This is a really good one. Practice patience. Yes, it is a virtue. Take the next year and learn how to be patient with yourself and others. For starters, work to identify your triggers. Know why they make you impatient. Practice patience. Yeah. That reminds me of a story. There's a man who observes a woman in the grocery store with her little 3-year-old daughter in her shopping cart. And they're shopping around, and as they pass the cookie section, the little girl asks for some cookies. And her mother just told her, "No, you can't have any cookies." And immediately the girl started crying and kicking and putting up such a big fuss. And the mother just said quietly, "Now, Monica, we just have half of the aisles left to go. Don't be upset. It won't be long." Then soon they were in the candy aisle, and the gentleman observed her again, and the little girl began to shout for candy. And when she was told that she couldn't have any, she began to cry and wail very loudly all over again. And the mother said, There, Monica, don't cry. Only 2 more aisles to go, and then we'll be checking out. When they finally got to the checkout counter, the little girl began to clamor for gum, and she burst into a terrible tantrum when the mother said she couldn't have any. And the mother just patiently said, "Monica, we'll be through this checkout stand in just 5 minutes, and then you can go home and have a nice nap." Well, the man followed them out to the parking lot, and he stopped the woman to compliment on her about how she was handling her little girl with such patience and tenderness. And he began to go on about this when the mother just stopped him and said, "I'm Monica. My little girl's name is Tammy." There, Monica. That's cute. Now back to our list of resolutions. The last one on this list is love yourself unconditionally. Loving yourself just as you are. Just as you are. Without restrictions, and not waiting for the one you're going to grow into. It's just loving yourself where you are right now as you are. And that's challenging for most of us. So let's resolve to love ourselves this year and beyond by practicing self-care, healing old wounds, forgiving yourself for mistakes and indiscretions, those perceived or otherwise, and accepting yourself in the here and now, right the way we are right now. With endings come new beginnings. A time to shred your old self-image, to get rid of that old state of being, replace it with something more real, more authentic. And this doesn't only just take time sometimes, but it takes some thought, some new thoughts. It may not be easy or quick going, but we are worth the time and the effort. So take that time and think about what you want, what you're ready to let go of, what you're finished with this year, and what you're ready to receive this year, this new year, new you. Remember, life is but a mirror. It reflects back to us what we put into life. So be a match for what you want. If it is peace, then be that peace. If it is joy, then be that joy. If it is love, then be love. This is a sacred time. It's a time of reflection, a time to reevaluate our lives, our path, our decisions, and our direction. We now look back over the year and see what didn't work, what didn't serve our good, and we now make a conscious decision to release and let them go. We bless them and we release them. So I'm going to see you all back here at 11:30 today. And you're going to have your little bags, your release and renew ceremony bag. And for those of you who didn't get any bags, who didn't come through the drive-thru and get some, there'll be ways for you to do this. And I'll help you through this. So we're going to do this live at the Holiday Inn, where we're going to broadcast it out at 11:30. So just tune in and be ready to go through this together. So now is the time to go within and prepare and imagine your possibilities. And together we will release and renew. I'll see you soon. Thank you. Namaste.